Remember what I said. The Zealots are people too. That's just it. When I'm with them, it's like associating with anyone here in Dazra. They aren't the mindless fanatics people make them out to be. Granted, you have to get them to warm up to you first. But after that, it's just like having a friend in House Vithal. Sympathetic to the Zealot cause? No. But sympathetic to the people? Yes. I don't deny the Zealots are violent religious extremists. But that doesn't mean they are heartless, emotionless killers. They have families, and people they care for just like us. I see them as strongly misguided individuals that need help. Serpent guide you.
Harbinger. If you could complete the path, it gives me more hope. Great Serpent, watch over you.
I hope Merrick was forthcoming. You must have gotten the location. Ah, yes, the old Varun military outpost. It's a remnant of the Serpent's crusade. If my intel is correct, you can find Shadow Station Epsilon in the Badlands, north of Dazra. I can send you the coordinates. The Shadow Stations were established during the Serpent's Crusade. A series of secret military installations that few knew about, and even fewer may remember. The idea was to have isolated centers focused on different aspects of furthering the Crusade. This way, if one fell, it wouldn't endanger the others. Epsilon was once a research station, with a focus on grav drive manipulation. The Zealots have since vastly expanded upon it. But it makes sense if they intend to use Sahima to their advantage. Shadow Station Epsilon is one of many Zealot bases scattered throughout. As I mentioned before, I wasn't willing to risk agent lives in order to scout them all. If anything happens to the hostages, they will lose a lot more than leverage.
We'll bring everyone back safe and sound.
Now that we have a rescue mission underway, I'll speak to Merrick about setting up the negotiations. I expect them to be pliable after their last encounter with you. The current plan is to hold them at one of the geothermal power stations. Meet us there when Sahima and the others are safe. If memory serves, it's southeast of Shadow Station Epsilon. It shouldn't be too hard to find. It's a fairly neutral location, and just the right distance from Dazra, so both parties will feel safe. The geothermal stations are also autonomous in nature, so we don't have to worry about unwanted eyes and ears. I see you have a grasp on how these types of negotiations work. I'll stall the Zealots as long as I can, which shouldn't be an issue. That being said, I'd still appreciate it if you could act quickly. Now, Jamal wants an update before you leave. Just don't let her distract you for too long.
Harbinger, a word before you go. Tell me, Harbinger, what do you know about the Zealots? An oversimplified observation, but correct nonetheless. The Zealots are widely frowned upon within our society. They're a remnant of the Serpent's Crusade, days we'd like to forget. Has my dear sister given you any history on our house's relations with the Zealots? I'm glad to see you're well-versed in humanity. Rasma would have everyone believe she only wishes to keep an eye on the Zealots, so the Council can make informed decisions. The truth is, she's had this particular group of Zealots under her thumb for quite some time. This is only a problem now because she's lost control. That is the real reason why Rasma hasn't informed the High Council, and I'm sworn to silence.
I don't know. Playing both sides has its benefits. Even if they are Zealots.
Yes, I'll get to that momentarily. As a member, I can say it certainly is not. House Khadik already has a reputation for being sympathetic to the Zealots, but the truth is far worse. Rasma wants the Zealots to back House Khadik, so the balance of power between the noble houses would shift to us. She's been employing them, paying them in supplies that aid their blind crusade. The Council knows nothing of her work with the Zealots, and I aim to keep it that way. All elders have their own ambitions. I'm certain that's all they see. What none of us expected was the disaster that is the Scaled Citadel. The aftermath is what allowed the Zealots to grab Sahima and the others, flipping the balance of power in their favor. Rasma has lost control and is putting House Khadik's reputation and power at risk. And that's what I wish to speak to you about. House Khadik shouldn't be associating with Zealots at all, except on an extermination level. But worse, we absolutely cannot be supplying them with ordnance of any kind. We need to cut ties with the Zealots altogether. Exposing this information to the Council would condemn not only Rasma, but House Khadik along with her. I have no wish to tarnish our house or ruin my sister. I simply want to show her the error of her ways. One would think it's common sense. I want you to put an end to any connections between House Khadik and the Zealots. And while my position won't allow me to be blunt, I'll still make it clear. Should the hostages not survive, Rasma would blame the Zealots and cut all ties.
You'd sacrifice family for clout? That's low.
Those few lives will be nothing compared to the lives the Zealots will take if House Khadik continues to supply them. Sacrificing them would open my sister's eyes, quelling any sympathy and desire to work with the Zealots. Once Rasma no longer sees the Zealots as an ally, the rest will soon follow. I'm doing what I must to preserve this house. All you need to get is Sahima's research, which she has with her. Think about it if you must, but if you care about your people, you'll come to the same conclusion as I have. And when you do, just know that we can't afford any loose ends. No witnesses. As far as everyone else is concerned, the hostages were dead when you arrived, and you exacted revenge in House Kadik's name. Of course not. But in this situation, it is the most effective means to an end. As a mediary, I am constantly weighing decisions based on both immediate and long-term consequences. This decision is awful, I know that. But the far-reaching consequences are worth the sacrifice. The settled systems, of course. They're the Zealots' #1 target with more victims every day. I trust you'll make the right decision. Until then, I'll see you at the negotiations.
I wonder what your presence here means for the Ministry of Corruption.
We're ready to take off, Captain. Great. The Crimson Fleet. Need I say more?
Unable. Repair not possible.
least not need not.